Hi guys. So we're gonna go through this Angular JS topic today. If we talk about Angular JS, this presentation is presented by Shilpa S. That's me. Okay. First, we're gonna go to the contents. What contents are we gonna go in depth to? We're gonna go. We're gonna teach an. I'm gonna teach an what is an Angular JS and Angular vs Angular JS vs React.js and characteristics, directives, example code. So let's we go to what is AngularJS. If we talk about what is AngularJS, see, as everyone know, AngularJS is a uh, some type of JavaScript related topic, as everyone know. But if you talk about in depth, AngularJS is a framework. Okay, the thing is in here, you don't need to import anything or you don't need to uh, download anything in here. Everything is built in here. That's what the main characteristics of AngularJS. Why people use React.js? Because it's famous because of its syntax. AngularJS is not toughest programming language. It's not toughest framework, but it has its own specified structure and syntax where the syntax is quite tough to understand at starting. But if you understand the basic things for at least 5 minutes, service, if you hear it clearly, you can get through it. You can learn it in a expert manner. But as for React.js, it has a very easy syntax, just like a JavaScript syntax, in a very easy manner that you can understand it in better way, and it has a clean and neat syntax, which is gonna make you more attracted to it, more attracted to learn it. That's why React is way more famous than AngularJS because see, React.js actually increases the programming code lines. Okay, if the programming code line increases automatically, the running speed increases as well. So that's how React.js is quite actually a drawback for us in the somewhat one or the other way, but we still use it because of its familiarity and because it's famous, way more famous than AngularJS. That's it. Okay, let's we talk in summary what is AngularJS. AngularJS is a JavaScript-based open source front-end web framework, primarily known for simplifying the development of dynamic web applications and single-page applications. See, it's a web framework which is used for front-end and it's mainly used for single page applications. As you know, single page applications means there won't be a reloading problem, and within a single page all things will be available, everything they will do it like that. Those single page applications, and it there will be few people will use the dynamic web applications, but it's mostly famous for Angular single page applications. Why? Because see, React.js is familiar to everyone, so they prefer it to write a complex task. Even if this is easy, if this we no need to import anything in here. If it's all built in here, still we prefer React.js because of its familiarity syntaxes. As complex projects needs complex time and complex way more problem solving skills. I prefer that React.js for dynamic web applications and single page applications. They prefer AngularJS. Even YouTube nowadays, recently YouTube has converted into single page application rather than dynamic, as you all know. So the main thing is that you can use it inside an HTML. Like you will write an HTML code just like this. I can show you in some example. See. Sorry, 1 second, please. As you can see, here is HTML code, which is a body tag, and inside that there's a script tag. As you saw it, inside that there is a script tag, and furthermore, if you look at inside the script tag, you can see the code of some Angular module. See, Angular.module is a module where we use to create my app, like we're creating our own web application. Then we are going to use this Angular.module syntax and Angular app.data. We're going to talk about directive soon. So we're going to go through the topic. So I will skip this thing now, as for now. You can see that inside the body tag, we have used script tag. And we have used the W3 test directive tag itself. It's actually Angular tag, okay? This W3 test directive is Angular tag. See, Angular has tag element attribute 3 as well. But React.js is not like that. You can't get tag easily. There is no specific tag, but you have to borrow things, download things from other like it's a library, right? You have to borrow or download things for every single thing which you have to, like, you have to state, or you want to use directives, then you have to download it. You have to use the routing, everything. You have to download the modules, elements, attributes. But here you don't need to download. You can just give your code into structure. Like, this is the structure. Here you can see script inside that variable app. This is a structure. Inside the structure, you can place your code according to how you want, and you don't need to update the view as well. You don't need to render the app after creating it or while building it. It's going to do it all in itself. It's going to prepare everything according to how it want. Okay, then we will next skip to the next topic. As I told you, it extends HTML format. We're going to skip to the next topic, that is what is the difference between Angular, AngularJS, React.js. Angular is a framework, okay? AngularJS is also framework. Then what is React.js? Then what is React.js? See, React.js is nothing big. I can tell that it's a library, as I told you, and AngularJS is a framework. So what is framework and library? Difference between framework and library. If you talk about framework and library, I would like to tell in a simple manner. Framework is, it controls everything itself. Once you teach it, or once you use it in your code, or once you give the code into it has its own structure. I told you. Once you give your code into its structure, it is a controller. It controls everything. Okay, it controls all of your apps. It controls and renders, updates it. But library is not like that. It doesn't work like that in library. Okay, as for library, you need to do everything yourself. You're going to control the app. You're going to control the app by downloading for state management and everything. For everything, you're going to download modules. You're going to import classes or something like that, and you're going to use the React.js library. And Angular also. It's what is Angular and AngularJS? Nothing big. AngularJS is based on JavaScript. Okay, in AngularJS, we use a JavaScript syntax. It's based on JavaScript, and we write it inside the script tag. You know, when script tag is used, right? Script tag is used to give a code, to implement a code, or to give a code inline of an HTML page, right? The script tag is used in JavaScript. Here Angular, it's used in TypeScript. It is used. Angular is framework is used by implementing TypeScript at the same time. Then itself it will work. Angular will work at the same time if you implement it. That then it will work. And AngularJS, it will work only when you use JavaScript syntax or something like that. JavaScript structure or something like that. Then itself it will work. And React.js, it's a JavaScript, especially JSX it uses. And as for AngularJS, it uses many things, like 2 to 3 things it will use. I will tell you what it uses in the future content, in the future slides. Okay, component-based architecture, model view controller. It uses component-based architecture, Angular, and React.js also uses component-based architecture. But AngularJS uses MVC, model view controller, and Angular is a two-way data binding. AngularJS is two-way data binding. React is a one-way data binding. I told you. It controls things. You don't need to update everything. You don't need to render anything. Just like that. It's a two-way data binding, okay? And real DOM handling. See, Angular and AngularJS is a real DOM handling, and React.js is a virtual DOM handling. If I talk about state management, we're gonna we can tell that built-in state management RxJS ng Rx is the things which is used by Angular, that is TypeScript framework, TypeScript Angular framework. Angular JS, if we come to Angular JS framework, it uses state management, uses a scope objects. You see, it uses a scope object, exactly scope objects. And furthermore, React JS uses libraries like Redux or something like that. You know what is Redux is for? It's for background, it's for background things or connected routing things, okay? As for routing, it uses scope objects and it uses Redux or something like that. And, background things, but if you talk about storage or something like the background, it is the same thing. These two things, AngularJS and React.js is the same thing. It is MongoDB, Express.js, and you can use Node.js. Same thing at the same time, but AngularJS is way more better. Mean is way more better than React.js. But as for its familiarity, you need to learn both because you can switch two things according to how you want, according to the web applications or according to suitable web applications, however you want. Okay. Then, next topic, characteristics. We're going to go through characteristics of AngularJS. It's data binding. Okay, what is data binding? If we talk about, see, there are 5 characteristics. If we talk about characteristics in a deeper and better manner, there are 5 characteristics, and there are data binding, dependency injections, directives, routing, testing. So, what is data binding? According to you, what could be data binding? Data binding is nothing but it automatically synchronizes data between the model and the view, reducing the need for manual DOM manipulation. So what I'm going to tell is, you don't need to manually DOM manipulate. You know what is DOM manipulation, right? DOM is like give a structure for a website, and like event handling like you can hover things or you can request and response. These are event handling, and there are more things. These things, DOM manipulations, you can do it by like it's a built-in, okay? DOM manipulation techniques, element attributes are all built in here. You don't need to download it or you don't need to import it into anything, into your program, into your app. It synchronizes data between model and the view. Okay, dependency injection. It manages dependencies between different parts of the applications. Means it manages it manages in a better way. It maintains and makes sure that it does not depend on other parts of the applications, different parts of the applications. Make code more modular and testable. This makes code more modular and testable, as you know. And directives. It extends HTML with custom attributes, okay, and elements. It extends HTML, means it makes HTML way more better, and by you can make it HTML way more better. You don't need to use the same attribute, and if you, in case there is no attribute element according to how you want, according to the like if you want to do app, to do this thing, you need your own attribute, you need your own element for the to do app. Then you don't need to search for HTML. As you know, HTML doesn't have its own attribute or element. Then you can create your own custom, right? According to how you need, according to requirements, enabling the custom recreation of reusable UI components. Routing. It facilitates navigation with the application, allowing for the creation of sparse with multiple views. See, routing, as you know, it's used for navigation within the applications, right? Within the application, you can navigate things in a better manner, which allows for better multiple views in SPA single page application format, right? And if you go to testing, it provides tools. AngularJS provides tools for unit and end-to-end testing, ensure the quality and stability of the application. So you don't have this in React.js, right? Even if you have, even like it's not available in our code, right? You need to import it, you need to download it, and you need to write another 2 to 3 lines of code. And if it's for React.js, you need to download it in terminal. But if it comes to outside, like if you use things like NumPy or something like that in Python, if you use Python for web development, if you use libraries, then you can use NumPy or something like that. In NumPy, or if you use library like Max, you need to import everything. Max.min, max.max, like that. You need to import first Max, then you need to access it through max.in. Through dot, you need to access it in a simple In simple, we can tell that it's this is a good thing for testing purposes, but libraries are not much better flexible for testing purposes. Directives. See, we are going to go through the concept of directives in AngularJS. Why I choose directives? Because directives is a beginning thing which you need to learn. A controller directives services is the beginning thing. And as for control services, if I make a next video, I will do it. I will make sure that I cover the topic. But as for now, we're going to go through the directives. So AngularJS lets you extend HTML. As you extend HTML means if there is exact specific element or attribute, but you have used all of it, or you need something your own required attribute, custom element, then you can use AngularJS. And in that situation, you can use this. What is this thing? What you call this thing? Is creating your own custom attribute or even this thing. What you call is directives. Okay, that is has its own syntax. It uses ng. Okay, as you can see down at fourth point, you can see that directives uses ng minus. That syntax, ng means Angular short form, ng minus syntax to create any element or any attribute or anything, whatever you want to create that, or to create your own app. You don't need to write from beginning. It's going to create its own background, its own correct DOM manipulation, everything by downloading my app or by implementing my app or something like that. Okay. Then it also defines our own directives, as I told you, and has a set of built-in directives. There are few built-in directives as well, like to-do list. There we don't do custom create. There are few built-in directives. If someone has already created it, we're gonna AngularJS is gonna implement it and become a better thing. So it's only there are many built-in directives which you can use for simple projects or something like that as a beginner, and as an advanced person, you have to create your own custom directives. So there are few listed directives here. ng app, you can see, defines the root element of an application. Means it defines your application create. If you are going to create your application, then it defines the root element. Then binds the content of an HTML element to application data. Is, as you can see, there are few more directives, but in this, few important one is ng app, ng bind, ng class, and ng copy, ng controller. As you can see, ng controller defines the controller object for an application, and ng init, ng include, ng form. These are the important things, important directives, which few people are going to use as a basic learner. So you're going to go, you are going through a basic thing. So as a basic learner, you are going to use these things. ng app directive. If you go to ng app directive, it defines the root element of an AngularJS application. It ng app directive will auto bootstrap. See, what it means is automatically initialize. Okay, auto bootstrap means automatically it will initialize the application when a page is loaded. Means if a person loads again the web page, or if a person, like dynamic means, as you know, single page is different and other types of applications are different. Those types of is nothing big. It's like you have to load it again and again for every single page separately, right? But it doesn't work like that for single page application. For single page applications, it's a automatically loaded thing. So you can load it however you want, right? So that's why ng app is root element of an AngularJS application. It means that ng app is the first thing which you're going to use to specify the AngularJS that we are creating single page application, not a dynamic web page application, right? You're going to specify it for AngularJS by writing ng app. Then ng init directive defines initial values for an AngularJS application. See, if you want to define any beginning values, any like primary values, you can give it by ng init. Init means initialization. Init means short form for initialization in computer science, right? Normally, you will not use ng init. You will use the controller or module instead. Why we don't use ng init? Because it's a old, like it has been old or older version, something like that. You will learn more about controllers and modules after you have finished this beginning video. You can go to advanced video for some other for some other channel, or you can go, if I have released, then you can go through that. Example code. See, I have showed you this example code. You can go through this. See, I have a directive tag here, W3 text directive, and also had directive app.directive. This directive things like ng app. There is, see, ng app. Wherever you go, if you're using AngularJS, if you're specifying that it's a SPA, it's a singular page application, then we're gonna specify ng app and our app name for sure, no matter what, right? You can find out from that. It's a root element, means it's a beginning or primary element which we're gonna use, our attribute which we're gonna use for sure if you want to know they are using AngularJS or not. Okay, next. I would like to conclude it here. It's nothing big. Okay, it has its own drawbacks. It has its own key benefits. If you talk about key benefits, as I told you, it can update and it can render app it as it wants, and it can create rich interactive web applications as well, reduce development time, and the testing is way more better than compared to React.js. It also, but it also has few challenges or few drawbacks like performance issues. Like these things will result to performance issues. Complex applications, means complex applications, it has a complex syntax or something like that. It's tough to learn it, and it's tough to implement it a little bit as well. Why? It has all built in, but still why? Because you have to learn every single day. You have to learn every single thing to implement it. It doesn't work like that for React.js. If you know basics, how to download things, how to import things, it's enough. You can check. You can ask help in versions or something like that, and you can know what are there. So what should I use? You can use this cheat sheet tricks, but it doesn't work like that in AngularJS much. Steep learning curve, means, as I told you, learning is tough here. So that's why people prefer React.js, because learning as a beginner, you can learn React.js, but as you come to advanced, you have to learn AngularJS, because you should know both to be expertise in the web application field, right? Web development field. There are a few drawbacks like, see, we don't get valuable tool, or it's a see, AngularJS is a valuable tool because it has built-in things, but dynamic contents updating is not preferred in AngularJS, because we can use React.js better than AngularJS. Compared to AngularJS, React.js is better for dynamic according to others. So it has a structured approach to application design. See, the React.js doesn't have structured approach, but AngularJS has. You have to learn the structured approach. You have to learn how it works. You have to learn what it has. It's little bit tough. That's why the thing we can tell in such a small summary is that, also in the sentence is that it's tough to learn. That's it. It's nothing big. Tough to learn, but if you learn it, if you make time for it, and if you want to invest time, then it's really good. It's really like, it will be like you very good language, and you're gonna go get adjusted to that, and you get like you will be professional with that, expertise with that. Thank you. So I'm gonna end my session here. Thank you.